Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Trilbee and welcome to my review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, directed by J.A. Bayona and written by Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly.
If I don't make it back, remember you're the one who made me come here. I'll be all right. These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're gonna be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World.
Just for some added context, I reviewed the original Jurassic World back in 2015 on my website, so I will post a link to that review in the description below. And Fallen Kingdom takes place a couple of years after the events of Jurassic World, where the park is now dilapidated, it is now overrun with greenery, and the dinosaurs are just living there peacefully. However, there's much discussion in civilization because a volcano is about to erupt and consume the entire island and presumably kill all of the dinosaurs that are still there. And since they were genetically created in a laboratory, they are technically man's responsibility. What should be done with them? And I felt like the animal rights aspect in this franchise was much needed and quite inspired, but it feels done and dusted with after about 20 minutes. It feels like a missed opportunity, but it does its job in terms of setting into motion the events of the plot, which reunites Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard as... I don't remember the characters' names, I'll just call them Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And their chemistry is fun in the film, they're sort of will they, won't they. It's a fun touch, even though it is very much relegated to the background, like it should be, because in my opinion, the star of this movie is not actually the dinosaurs, it's director J.A. Bayona. And J.A. Bayona is a director who I really admire in terms of his technical ability, but in terms of his films, The Impossible and Monster Calls, not a fan. But the work that he and his frequent collaborator, cinematographer Oscar Fora, do terrific work in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This is the best looking Jurassic Park movie since the original Jurassic Park. The direction is inspired, there's some really great tableaus that are visually stunning, and he's able to turn what could be pretty moribund and just routine action sequences into something that's genuinely filled with spectacle. The direction's clever, I believed that the dinosaurs were there, whereas that was quite an issue with Jurassic World, and there's quite a good combination of practical puppets, at least they looked like puppets from my estimation, and it was a good combination of puppetry and CGI.
In this Jurassic World, you will see more dinosaurs than you've ever seen before.
On this movie, we are dealing with real animatronic dinosaurs.
It looks like a real dinosaur. I couldn't help but freak out the entire time.
But the reason J.A. Bayona's direction really stands out in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is because he's essentially making two movies here. The first half of the movie is what we saw in that very first trailer, where the island is exploding and there's the volcanic eruption. It's essentially a massive escape disaster movie, like Volcano or Twister or Dante's Peak. The second half of this movie predominantly takes place in a giant mansion, where a genetically engineered dinosaur called the Endo Raptor, which is made from the DNA of the Indominus Rex from the last movie and a Velociraptor, is actually stalking the heroes. It feels like a slasher movie. It feels like a horror thriller, and J.A. Bayona seems to be a very capable horror director. I know he directed The Orphanage. Full disclosure, I've not seen The Orphanage. But it gives Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom a real identity, which is something the previous Jurassic Park films, sans the first one, haven't really had. The film's also got quite a big cast. You've got Rafe Spall as one of the villains, you've got Toby Jones as this really seedy, easy-to-hate business guy. B.D. Wong returns, Jeff Goldblum returns, although it's clearly just one day of shooting. But surprisingly, one of the standouts was Isabella Sermon, who plays Maisie Lockwood in the movie. And even though there were a few twists and turns to her character that I found quite superficial and really weren't necessary, she did a really good with the performance, and she worked really well with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. I really liked this character, and if you've listened to the latest episode of the Movie Mania podcast where we talk about the Lost World Jurassic Park, you'll know that I kind of hate the kids in the Jurassic Park franchise, but this is a rare exception. However, when comparing it to Jurassic World, I think I had a lot more fun with that film, whereas I think, objectively speaking, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the better movie. It's technically more proficient, there's more subtext and more issues to engage with. However, it's taking the subject matter a lot more seriously, the emotions don't really hit home when they want to have a more profound moment. There's a lot of questionable logic as well, like some characters act in completely incomprehensible ways. And I felt like it was really lazy to have the Endo Raptor be the main villain of the movie. It's another genetically engineered hybrid dinosaur, and it wasn't even remotely as intimidating as the Indominus Rex was. In Jurassic World, I genuinely was scared of that Indominus Rex, and by the end of the film, I was thinking, how the hell are they going to beat this thing? Whereas with the Endo Raptor, I never felt that threat. And while the characters are still fun and engaging to be around, they are not a patch on Alan Grant or Ellie Sattler or Ian Malcolm from the first movie. But then again, I'm thinking that the Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park franchises need to be treated quite differently, as they have very different priorities, clearly. But still, I enjoyed the movie. There was a lot of violence that I wasn't expecting. It's a Jurassic Park film, but even then there's still quite a bit of gore to be found. I really appreciated J.A. Bayona's direction and his skill in being able to turn it from a disaster film into a horror movie. Michael Giacchino's score is good, even though they're relying way too heavily on that original John Williams motif as opposed to finding this Jurassic World franchise a more distinct tone and feel with their music. And at the end of the day, very much like its predecessor, it's just a fun time at the movies which you can easily pick apart and nitpick and find all of the logic faults and the plot holes and everything, but in the moment it's engaging, and in the end I had fun with it. I think it's about on par with Jurassic World. And to be perfectly honest, the film ends with a pretty tantalizing sequel hook, so if we're going to be going to Jurassic World again, then yeah, I'll pay a movie ticket for that. I give Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 3.5 stars out of 5. Hey folks, thanks for watching my review, and it is a review that has been made possible because of my kind patrons who are able to support me monthly via Patreon, so you'll be able to see their names on screen right now. And if you'd like to join these handsome devils in the credits of my videos as well as get many other awesome perks, then please be sure to visit my Patreon, links in the description below.